Let's move on to number 8. It says express x squared minus 4x in the form x minus p all squared plus q. P and q are integers, hence write down the coordinates of the minimum point. Sketch the graph. Okay, showing the coordinates of the minimum point, the line of symmetry, pointing where the curve crosses the y-axis. Okay, so where the curve crosses the y-axis will be the y-intercept. So let's do an example like this. All right. Now, here's an example. So let's start with the solution. Express x squared minus 2x plus 10 in the form x minus p all squared plus q. So first, we have to find what is p. P is equal to b over 2, negative 2 over 2, negative 1. Simple. P is negative 1. Always over 2, always b over 2. Q is equal to c minus p squared. C minus p squared is q. Q is equal to c minus p squared. C is 10 minus open bracket. Okay, open close bracket. Okay, just a minute. So Q is equal to C minus P squared. C minus 1 squared. All right, don't make those negative signs confuse you. That's why you have to use brackets. P is minus 1. To find Q, there's a minus sign already. Minus P squared. So it's 10 minus, what did we get for P squared? 1. 9. Q is equal to 9. Okay. So once you have P and Q, you can write your completed square. It comes with an X. And because P is a minus 1, then you put minus 1. The square comes outside. And what did we get for Q? 9. So here it is. Hence, write down the coordinates of the minimum point. The X coordinate. What do we say the X coordinate is again? X is equal to minus P. You have to remember that. Eh? Please repeat that a couple times. Do it a couple times. P is always minus P. Or in other words, change the sign of P. To get X, the X coordinate, change the sign of P, which is 1. Right? And the Y coordinate now is whatever Q is. Okay. So the minimum point you're looking for, here it is. X comma Y, 1 comma 9. Okay. 1 comma 9. All right. So that will be for part A. Here, quadratics, that's the last topic. Part B now, sketch the graph. Sketch the graph. Very simple to sketch the graph. The graph is going to be a parabola. Okay. Part B. sketch the graph. The graph, you have your X. No, you don't need graph paper. Eh? You have your X axis. Okay. You've got your X axis, sketching the graph. Your number 8. Part B, we're sketching the graph. We already complete the square. We're sketching the graph. We're going to construct our X axis. Okay. There it is. X axis, we have to label it. Our Y axis. Okay. We have to take a look at our minimum point, 1,9. Our y-intercept is 10. So there's nothing on that negative side below there. Okay. A is positive, so it's going to be a U shape. Might start there, come down, not drawn to scale, come back up. Okay, it's going to be a U shape because this is 1,9. Okay, this is 1,9. Minimum point is 1,9. The line of symmetry is passing right in the center. An imaginary line, so let's put it dotted. And we are going to label. All right, we are going to label. First of all, we have 2 important points to indicate. 2 important points to indicate. Okay. 2 important points to indicate. One is the y-intercept, where the graph crosses the y-axis. That's the y-intercept. And the other one is the minimum point. The 9, you're asking if this is the 9 here. The lowest point is where we have the 1,9. The y-intercept is not the lowest point. The y-intercept is not the minimum point. The y-intercept is C. You have ax squared plus bx plus c. The y-intercept is C, and the y-intercept is always the last number in the quadratic, 10. That's when x is 0. This is 0, this is 0, 10. The y-intercept is when x is 0. 0, 0 will give you 10. The y-intercept is where x is 0. The y-intercept is where x is 0. So if x is 0, what you are left with? 10. X is 0, what you are left with? 10. The y-intercept is where x is 0. And when x is 0, we have 10. The y-intercept is always the C. Okay. The y-intercept is always the C. In that case, it is 10. So 10 come right there. Okay. 0 in the origin. Zero in the origin, here it is. Put your 0 in the origin. You label your x-axis. X is the horizontal axis. You label your vertical axis Y. And what is the minimum point? 1,9. 1,9 is the minimum point. So 1 is X. So you put 1 right there. That's your 1 comes. One right there. And 9 now is the minimum value. Here it is. 9 coming right there. It's below 10, 9. If you want, you can put a little dotted line just to show that you're coming across from here. Okay. Okay. Let me just write. Okay. So this would be a sketch of the quadratic curve. Sketch the graph of x squared minus 2x plus 10, showing the coordinates of the minimum points. Here they are. 1,9, positive, positive, 1,9, the coordinates of the minimum point. Here it is. What else? The line of symmetry. Here is the line of symmetry. And by the way, the equation for the line of symmetry always starts with x. The equation for the line of symmetry always starts with x. X equal, anybody can tell me x equal what? That would be the equation for the line of symmetry. Anybody like to contribute? X equal what? What's the equation for that line? X equal what? One of the numbers, you have 0, 9, 1, and 10. X equal which of those numbers? That would be the equation for the line of symmetry. Think about it a little bit. X equal 1. You see, look at there. X equal 1. X equal 1. X equals 0. So that's 0, 10. On the y-axis, x is 0. On the x-axis, y is 0. X equal 1 is the equation for the line of symmetry. Okay, in that case. And the y-intercept is 10. Okay, so here you have it, a sketch of the curve. It doesn't have to be drawn to scale, so you don't need graph paper once you indicate the y-intercept and where the minimum point. Sometimes the minimum point coming right down there. But that is why the y value is a negative. But then our minimum y value there, we get a positive 9, so it have to stay up there. But if we have got negative 9, then that quadratic would have to go down below the y-axis to get a negative 9 down there. Okay, so please bear that in mind. But in that case, it's a 1 and a positive 9, so it stays up there. So check and see what you will get for your assignment, and the quadratic for the assignment is x squared minus 4x plus 7. Okay, so that's what you do for number 8 in the assignment.